Hello, my name is Lance Sessions. I'm the assistant coach and team manager for Mavs Gaming, and I wanted to welcome everybody to the channel, and specifically to this series. In this series, I want to document on my opinions and my advice to players who want to take that next step into Pro-Am, and specifically, or looking into how to get from Pro-Am and possibly up your chances into making the NBA 2K League. So today we'll be talking about kind of starting up into Pro-Am, how to get into the competitive scene, or even just creating a team and starting to play so you can, take that next step. My number one tip to start getting into the Pro-Am scene would be to, if you're not already on Twitter, I would suggest getting on Twitter or even some Facebook groups, but I recommend Twitter specifically. That's where you'll find, of course, the NBA 2K League, all the teams, the players. You'll find the coaches, managers, and then more importantly, you'll find leagues. You'll find pages that retweet things that you post. So if you're a player right now, let's say you load into rec, or you're playing park every day. Maybe you're playing Pro-Am with a different 5 every day, and you're really looking to take that next step into maybe finding a more loyal 5, or a 5 that really want to grind, and maybe whether that's move up the rankings like in the leaderboards, or even start competing in some of the leagues. And we'll get into later videos about the leagues and how things like that work. So today I'm going to give you 3 Twitter accounts that I suggest you follow. The first account is @WalkOnWarriors. It was one of the first accounts that I even stumbled upon when I was coming around in the 2K scene with Twitter. And so what happens with an account like WalkOnWarriors is, let's say you're a free agent, you have your build, you're 99 lockdown. So you would post, a free agent post saying, hey, I'm looking for a team. And hopefully, they would retweet it if you follow them and everything. And then you would have people who are looking for lockdown reach out to you and then DM you. The second good account to follow is @2KCrewFinder. This is another great resource, just like WalkOnWarriors. The third Twitter account I suggest following is @SL2K. This is a league account on Twitter, but they do a great job at connecting guys. A lot of the new faces coming into the Pro-Am scene, and they have a great management team and just great overall admins that I think truly care about assisting players into getting better. And so I feel like that they're a great resource to use as well. Once let's say, you got your 5 together, let's move on to this next step of, you're starting your team, you're going, and it's going to be a long road. I'm going to be honest. You're not going to figure it out in a week. You're not going to figure it out probably in a month. It's going to take a while. But that's the most important part about having, 5 to 7 guys that you can really play with and trust. And so that's moving into the next thing, is having a good head on your shoulders. And what I mean by that is, like I said, it's going to be a long road. Early on, you really want to find, 5 people who have the same goals in mind as you. Because if not, if you're taking every game super seriously, but your buddy's not, at the end of the day, it's just not really going to work out. You're going to get upset, or they're going to troll a little bit and maybe upset you because they're not taking the game serious. And another point with that is maybe it's time to leave your friend groups, and that's kind of hard to do. I think you could reach out to any competitive player, and they had to reach that point where you're playing with your buddies every day. Maybe you're the best of your friends, and they're just not into it as much as what you are. And that's the day where it hurts, but you're going to have to take that step if you want to maybe pursue your dream. If this is your dream of making the 2K League or playing NBA 2K at a very high competitive level. So tip number 3 is having a competitive build. I see way too many times where, players want to take that leap and join a team, but they're running a non-Pro-Am build or a non-competitive build. There are only, let's say a handful of builds that at each position, or each, point guard through center, that Pro-Am teams are looking for. And we can get into those in a different video, but understanding what competitive builds are is super essential into finding a team and getting on a team, because some posts on Twitter on those accounts will say we are looking for a 6'6" playmaking lockdown shooting guard. And so, that's considered one of the competitive builds that I'm speaking on. And so, if you went out and made a crazy build that you thought would be fun to play on, but now you're trying to get the competitive team, not saying it can't work, but sometimes teams just have it set in their head, this is what we want, this is what we've seen work because we've been trying so hard, and you're already lowering your chances by not having that type of competitive build, if that makes sense. Number 4 is to find people with like-minded schedules as well. What I mean by that is, if you're, let's say, a college student, you have morning classes, but you're done in the evenings, you don't have a job or something like that, your type of grind is going to be a lot different than someone who works a 9 to 5 or a late night shift or works overnights. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's another just obstacle where it can make someone seem not as committed, but maybe they just can't be committed to your schedule. And you can run into issues when you start getting into the leagues that we'll talk about in a different video, where you schedule a game against a team at 5 p.m., but your buddy works. And so, of course, there's always workarounds, but I would try to say find people with schedules like yours. So that was my 4 tips on how to get started in the Pro-Am scene in 2K. And whether you're a veteran of 2K, Pro-Am, or you're just now getting started, I really wanted this series to be my general information coming from a 2K league, coach. I've spoken with a lot of players and managers, and I want to give you guys the best tools and resources to, go from beginner and to pave a path to get to become, or to set yourself up to have the best chance to become an NBA 2K pro. And so if you guys want to see any more type of content, whether it be kind of what I spoke on, the builds, film review, anything like that, don't be afraid to drop a comment below or message me on Twitter. I'll have all that in this video. I want to thank everyone for watching and be on the lookout for the next one.